Okay. Now, I know many of you are Monograph users, and some of you are eager to try it out and join the family. So we're very excited to share our latest feature release in our next session. Good decisions drive good profits. First up, we've got a short message from our CEO, Robert Yuen. Then Monograph's head of product, Pete Indelicato, will explain how our newest features will change the way you understand your profitability and performance. Pete will be followed by Chris Morgan, our marketing manager, when members of our community learn to talk about exciting new interview series with 1,000 emerging and experienced leaders in architecture, design, and engineering. Take it away, Robert.
Today, we run on data. Every hour you track, every schedule you plan, every dollar you make, it's all driven by data. Data that drives your financial decisions. If you want to understand your financial data, you've only got two options: outdated Excel spreadsheets or complicated accounting software. Think about how much data are kept in the dark because you just can't see them. So what if, instead of needing a finance degree to understand your business, you can just see it visually on a dashboard? What if you can see exactly what's driving your profits, from the type of projects, phases, team members, and client? That's the future for design professionals, and it will change the way you make decisions. It's time to unleash the power of data by making it visually and easy to understand so that you can make good decisions to drive good profits. No financial degree required. Welcome to the future of practice operations.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the introduction, Gio. Welcome everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. And maybe it'll get a little bit better with this presentation if things go well. As Gio said, I'm head of product, which means I spend the majority of my time talking to customers just like yourself and getting to understand their underlying needs. Then I work with the product team and the engineering team to build and deliver a product that continually serves you better. We're excited to host this historic event, Section Cut, but I'm particularly grateful that so many of you are here for this particular part of the conference. Typically, in presentations like this, I like to open everyone's mic, have a bit of a town hall feel to it. Unfortunately, due to the sheer number of people that showed up today, we can't do that. However, immediately after this presentation, I'm going to go to the water cooler where you can join me and we can talk live. I can answer your questions. You can give me some feedback, or we can just hang out. If that's not possible, you can also just drop some questions in the panel during this presentation. So you're probably wondering, why am I so excited? Well, we've got some really good news. We've created 2 new reports. We're calling them the profit reports. They allow you to forecast, analyze, and improve your profitability. And more importantly, we're releasing them Monday. Yes, 3 days from now, they will go live and you'll have access to the reports that I'm going to be showing you over the next 15 minutes. So before I jump in, first I want to say thanks to our customers who were involved in our research. You provided some great guidance. You're going to see a lot of it in the presentation. And I want to say thank you to our incredible product and engineering teams, without whom this wouldn't be possible. They cranked hard to get these reports out in time for this conference. So I want to make sure that they know they are appreciated. Now, enough talk. Let me jump into the slides. As I mentioned, Monday's release is all about helping you make good decisions that drive good profit. But before we can dive into that, I need to make sure everyone here, including those of you who are new to Monograph, has a common basic understanding of our mission. So give me a few minutes to get everyone on the same page. Our mission is really emphatically focused on empowering architects to run a stronger, more efficient business. We're here in service of you, deeply devoted to giving you time back to focus on design work that you're passionate about. You want to take care of all the time tracking, cost management, financial analysis, number crunching, et cetera, so you can spend more time on architecture. I want to reiterate, we are here in service of you. Why do we care so much about serving our customers? Well, most of our team is trained in architecture and have lived through the problems we're solving. Our founders have architecture degrees from MIT and Michigan, and many of my teammates have experience at world-class firms like Raymond Jungels, MVVA, Architectonica, Geo, and Moss. So to give you a sense of the breadth of the customers and projects that benefit from Monograph, I'd like to highlight these 3 partners, all of whom are speaking at our success story sessions today. First workshop, they consist of more than 75 professionals They work primarily on hospitality and multifamily projects. Traverse is a smaller firm focused almost exclusively on landscape architecture. Rossman Architecture works commercial and residential projects and, interestingly, are specifically focused on growing their business through increased efficiency. In fact, I believe they've tripled their revenue in the last year with a fraction of additional costs. I love these three examples because they highlight the diversity of our customer base and the types of projects planned and managed in Monograph, from single-family, multifamily, to high-end residential, commercial, interior landscape design. But I also love these examples because they've been big contributors to our product research efforts. We routinely engage our customers to gain a deeper understanding of their needs and validate our thinking. And we're very thankful for the level of engagement we see from these three firms and many others. So thank you all for helping us shape a better product. Now, to provide value to such a variety of customers on such a variety of projects, we sought to understand what is the one thing that is the biggest problem for architects. It's not task management. It's not another better spreadsheet solution. It's frankly not well addressed by any of the traditional solutions out there. The answer is time. To be truly successful at accomplishing our mission, we need to focus on your time and the value of it. Well, why time? You're probably wondering. Because at the end of the day, architecture is a service-based business model. And if we can understand time and help you maximize the efficiency of your time and the value of your time, everything becomes easy. Tactically, when we have a strong grasp on time in your projects, we can help with scheduling. Scheduling, in fact, becomes easy because we know how time is being spent and we can recommend how to use it going forward. Scheduling your phases, allocating roles and people who work on those phases is a central part of collecting that time critical data that is at the center of the Monograph solution. Budgets. Given a schedule, you can track time against your schedule and easily answer the burning question, are we on budget? Obviously, everyone needs to know that at an almost constant rate in real time to help make the most important decisions on a day-to-day, week-to-week, and month-to-month basis. Team allocations. How do you reshuffle the team on a weekly basis to make sure you're addressing your highest priorities? Invoicing. At the end of every month, you need to know how much time has been spent on a project. Who spent that time and how did they spend that time? This helps you create the right invoices for the right amount of money and ultimately get paid for your work. Not a minor detail. We put time at the center of nearly everything we do so that you can run a more efficient, profitable business while spending more time doing the design work you love. Well, as I mentioned earlier, this release marks an amazing milestone. We're now looking to leverage all of that time data beyond tactics and into the greener pastures of strategy and planning. More specifically, we're improving Monograph to leverage time in new ways that'll help you make business decisions that drive profitability. You can almost think of it as a cake. We've got a fantastic foundation based on time. And now we're adding a new layer that focuses on profitability. That's where we've focused a lot of our energy as of late. We've spoke to dozens of our customers about their needs around profitability. So let me walk you backwards through what we learned. As an architecture firm, our goal is to be profitable because if we're not profitable, we can't support our team and continue doing what we love, right? So the end goal is profitability. But do you know if your plan will make you profitable in 3, 6, or 12 months from now? How do you know if you need to go after more projects to build a more robust pipeline? Similarly, how will you determine if your strategic and planning decisions are leading to increased profitability over time? Working backwards one step, how can you make more profitable decisions in project selection and planning? What types of projects lead to higher profit margins? Which project managers tend to deliver more profitable projects? Which clients are bottomless cash sinks? And which phases do you need to charge more for? Working backward one more step, do you have the data to inform these decisions? Do you know where the data is stored? Is it in 10 different spreadsheets, somewhere scattered around your server, or is it perhaps in some complicated accounting software that requires a financial degree to understand? These are all important questions, and we're going to help you answer them. So understanding and driving profitability is a data problem. And thanks to our focus on time and the value of it, we have that data. And in this latest release, we're giving you the tools and the data to make more profitable decisions. Now, you're probably wondering, how does it all work? And when am I going to get to see it? Well, sit tight. We're almost to the demo. But first, what data are we talking about here, and how do we use it to help you make more profitable decisions? Well, first, we take your project fee and your phase schedule that lives in our project planner. That becomes your revenue. Then we take your compensation data from your team, which you can add to your team members today in the product if you want to get a head start. And we combine it with a multiplier that captures your overhead to get your costs per employee. We combine the revenue and the cost to get profit, and then we crunch, slice, and dice that profit in various ways to give you two new reports: the planned profit report and the profit drivers report. So, okay, enough with the slides already, right? Yeah, agreed. Let's jump into the demo. Give me a moment to flip over and I'll show you in the product how it works and give you a preview of what's going to be available to all of you come Monday. Okay, let's start with the planned profit report. As the name suggests, this report looks at planner and combines that planner data with salary and overhead information that you put in about your team members, and combines that to tell you how much profit you'll see in various time frames. Here you can see how profitable we'll be month by month for the next 12 months. Note that there are some filters at the top and that I am only looking at active projects. Things look pretty good until December, and then even worse in February and March. Naturally, you're starting to wonder why. We begin to answer that here and here by looking at the components of that profit or loss to try to determine whether it's a revenue problem or a cost problem. We can see based on the trends here that revenue appears to be going down while costs are remaining relatively stable. That to me indicates it's a revenue problem. So let's look at additional projects, perhaps some proposed projects, to see if our proposals are going to bring up our revenue through these darker winter months. I'm going to add proposed projects to my report, and sure enough, things actually look quite positive when I include some proposed projects that we've started planning and working on with our clients. You can see the same thing down here. Things trend up nicely. And if I wanted to look at specifically which projects are in the proposed state, so I know which ones to focus on closing, I can easily do that in our existing projects page, where I can filter by project status and see the 3 projects that we need to close in order to make our revenue look more positive through the winter. The planned profit report can also be used retrospectively to give you a sense of whether or not your decisions are leading to the growth and profitability you're striving for. Here we can see some decisions we made leading into early 2021 didn't work well from a profit perspective, but some changes we made shortly thereafter appear to be leading to more profitability. Better planning based on profit forecasts and better visibility of the results of your decisions and how they're affecting profitability are in fact valuable, yes, but there's more to it. How do we help you understand why you may or may not have been profitable? And how can we guide you towards more profitable decisions going forward? Well, that's where Profit Drivers comes in. Profit Drivers allows you to understand what's driving profitability so you can do more of the things that lead to profitability and less of the things that don't. For example, you can group by category to find out which types of projects are contributing the most to your bottom line or increasing your margin. In this case, if I sort by margin, I can see that our medical projects are doing quite well. Let's find more of those projects and replace our less profitable cultural projects. Let's look at the data in a slightly different way. Let's say we have categories for our offices, 3 offices around the United States. I'm going to clear this filter, open it back up, and I'm going to focus on Chicago LA, New York City category. So now we're looking at projects aggregated by office. And we can see that it's a pretty even profitability amongst the offices, but those folks in Los Angeles probably spending a little too much time on the beach. But I digress. Let's move on. In a similar fashion, you can analyze people to find out which project managers, for example, tend to deliver the most profitable projects, or which clients tend to eat into your profitability with change orders, or which phases are your most profitable or your least profitable. Let's group by people and do an analysis of our project managers. I know our project managers include Emily, Lee, and Austin. So I filtered the report down to them, and now I'm specifically looking at projects based on who worked on them. Austin worked on 11 projects, Emily worked on 5, Lee worked on 8. And again, I can sort by margin to see that Emily is clearly outstanding in terms of her profitability or the profitability of projects that she's managed. At the same time, we can also see that Austin tends to be the lowest margin producer amongst our 3 project managers. So let's get Emily a raise, motivate the LA team, and get the sales team pointed at more medical projects. Then let's use these profit reports in the future to see if our actions and decisions had that positive impact on our organization profitability that we were looking for. So these are the 2 new reports that are coming to Monograph on Monday. Simple, but incredibly powerful and helpful in making more profitable decisions. Now give me a moment to flip back into the slide deck for a few more quick slides. Okay, to recap, the planned profit report is great for understanding your organizational profitability, both from a forecast and a retro perspective. And the profit driver report helps you make decisions that drive profit. Both of these reports will be available to you Monday. Yes, Monday. So be sure to check them out. And as always, let us know what you think. We're always keen to hear your feedback. And again, if you have questions or feedback now, I'll be at the water cooler after this session, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts and understand how we can serve you better. And beyond that, if you want to learn about other parts of Monograph, I encourage you to visit the product demo booth, get to know more about what Monograph can do for you, and meet other members of the Monograph team. Speaking of teammates, now I'd like to flip it to Chris Morgan, Monograph's marketing manager, who's going to tell you all about our new community, along with Loiso, Christy, and Sylvia from our community team. Chris, take it away.
Thanks, Pete. 1,000 people are coming to Section Cut today to hear 27 leaders from firms like Snowhetta, Rios, and Lake Flato in the first ever conference focused on practice operations, hosted by Monograph. It's an extension of our best practice webinar series, where hundreds of professionals are tuning in to weekly fireside chats with operations leaders from firms like Olsen Kundig, Bjark Ingels Group, Moody Nolan, and so many more.
But what about you, the attendees? We want to hear from you. I'm Loiso. I'm a community manager at Monograph. We want to highlight the experiences of 1,000 emerging and experienced leaders in architecture, design, and engineering. So we asked you, what are the most important questions about practice that you want answers to? Many of you submitted questions and we ranked them according to the most popular. These were the top 10 questions. What is your lens on practice? What is your typical work week? What questions are top of mind for you right now? How does your work inform your philosophy and vice versa? What do you geek out on? How did you get your professional start? What is a lesson you didn't learn in school? What do you like the least about practice or the building industry? What is your advice to your younger self? What's a mistake you cannot forget? And what did you learn? Answer 3, 5, or all 10 of the questions via written text or by uploading audio or video files.
We have so many more voices to highlight, including yours. Over 150 people have already sent in their answers. Incredible professionals from all across the career spectrum are participating in this new series. Your interview will be featured in the Monograph community alongside leaders from Trahan Architects, Lake Flato, ACOM, Olson Kundig, KPF, and so many more. You will be in excellent company. Today at Section Cut, give yourself 10 minutes to answer 3 to 5 questions. Here's how. Go to the Practice Ops Services area and click Get Interviewed by Monograph.
I'm Christy Savillon, one of your community managers in the Best Practice community. The world is constantly changing. Our lifestyles are changing. The industry is changing. We want you to be part of this change. Monograph created this community to break the industry traditions by allowing you to expand your network, learn from professionals, develop new skills, have a conversation with experts, and above all, to hear your voice. Everything in one space. We want to hear from you and what makes you unique, so help us contribute to shaping the new face of the industry.
Hi, my name is Sylvia, and I'm also one of the community managers here at Monograph. I read and publish every interview. I'm reading stories about what excites you, the mistakes made along the way, what you love about the profession, and also what you don't love. I'm hearing what being in this field is really like, and it's not what most people think. That's why the question about the lessons you didn't learn in school is so telling. I don't think anybody knew what they were necessarily getting themselves into. So much of it had to be learned along the way, and people are sharing those lessons here. The lessons you didn't learn in school and your advice to your younger self are among our top 3 answered questions. Our most answered question is, what do you geek out on? So sharing about your passions is another strong theme among the interviews. One pattern I'm seeing across the interviews is that our profession deeply values its people. People work in our companies and on our projects. People like our clients and our society. Architecture is very much about building communities, just as much as buildings. We need to work together, respectfully and kindly, if we're going to reach our goals successfully. That sentiment gets shared a lot. I select the quotes from the interviews as post titles. Some really resonate with me. One example is Barbara Carr. She talks about her philosophy. I aim to do my best at whatever I do. How you do anything is how you do everything. But there has to be a passion and spark to it also. I love this because it reminds me how dedicated we have to be to create things and to see them through to the end. But it's not just about hard work and commitment. You need passion, creativity, and inspiration. Sometimes you can get lost in the work, so reading these interviews is a reminder of what I do and why. I recommend reading the rest of her interview. It's one of my favorites. And something that doesn't get talked about enough is being kind to ourselves and to others. The interview with John Workley is a great one if you want to hear more on that topic. I love reading the interviews because people are being so open and honest with what they are sharing. Thank you to all those who answered. It's building a great community here.
Incredible. I can't wait to see how this helps drive profitability for our customers and gives them back more time to do what they love. And I could not be more excited with everything Chris shared on our growing Monograph community. Now we're about to take a break on the keynote stage and give everyone time to explore. The Monograph team you met this morning, Robert, Pete, and George, will be heading over to the water cooler where they'll be discussing the latest product release and some of the other big topics covered this morning. Over 1,000 professionals are coming to Section Cut, and we can't wait to meet you all. Thankfully, there are plenty of ways to connect throughout the day. Remember, we're trying to build a community here, so don't be shy. If you're feeling adventurous, try a few rounds of our one-on-one chats, which pairs you with another Section Cut attendee using our randomizer. Remember, there's a ton of architects, designers, and engineers joining us today. Also, don't miss out on being featured in Monograph's new written interview series, 1,000 Emerging and Experienced Leaders in Architecture, Design, and Engineering. We've already published over 100 interviews with Section Cut attendees in the Monograph community. We'll be back here at 2:15 Pacific, 5:15 Eastern Time with Evan and Lee, FAIA, from the Practice of Architecture, and Chris Morgan from Monograph, who'll be having a fireside chat with Elaine Molliner and Michelle Delk from Sonoheta. I can't wait. Until then, see you out and about here at Section Cut.